Style production. Welcome to another edition of Live Eco Style, America's authority on eco-minded lifestyle and travel. I'm Randy Weckerly, host and travel correspondent, along with Jean Latham, America's #1 go-to confidant in eco-minded travel, dining, spas, tourism, and all-around living the experiential life. Well, Jean?
Well, Randy?
Here we go.
Where are we going?
I don't know. I think we're going to Brazil.
Brazil. You have to do it with a roll.
Ow. Ow. This is a Live Eco Style production starring Jean Latham and Randy Weckerly. High atop the 48th floor, coming somewhere from Geneva, Illinois. Oh, no, we gave it away. Well, as soon as they find that building, they can
Good
stop
luck
in.
with that.
We'll give them a pass. All they have to do is go down to the bottom and get a pass. Just call up, we need a pass, Randy and Jean, and we'll send it down.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to Rio. We going to Rio de Janeiro? What's going on there this week?
You are in charge of this whole show. I am just along for the ride.
I was told that about 3 minutes ago before we started
No,
this.
I was told that.
No. You said, I will follow your lead through the entire show.
That was not recorded anywhere.
I think it was.
I don't.
Anyway, we are going to Rio de Janeiro.
What's going on down there?
We are going to the famous Olympics. They started yesterday,
Famous?
August 5th.
They did.
August 5th. They run through like the
Wow.
21st.
Really?
So, yeah, the Olympics are on through a little controversy. It sounds like we're going to talk a little bit about some interesting things that have happened.
Wait a minute. I think we're making our entrance
Oh,
now.
my God. It sounds very Olympian.
It is. Here we go. I think they should be carrying us in on chariots.
Like Gaga?
Yeah.
Remember them? She was at the Music Awards, or
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it was, and they brought her in. She was like, had these all buffed out guys carrying her in.
Well, you wouldn't like that at all.
Oh my God, I would hate that.
You're all
I
oiled
would.
up. You didn't see that guy that was all oiled up either, did you?
Where?
No, in the Olympic opening.
Oh, I did not.
Hottest guy. I'll show you that.
I did not see that.
Yeah, it would
I'll
be.
have to watch it.
You will. That part. Well, then you got
I missed
Giselle.
Giselle. She's beautiful.
Oh,
She's
you talk
gorgeous.
About the girl
She's
from
a
Ipanema.
stunning woman.
They had her walking down the whole runway, stopped the crowd, and one of probably the leading assets, truly.
Of the entire production?
Yeah, the entire. Oh my God! And Tom Brady, he asked for a 5-game suspension now. Just after he saw that, he said, "I'm married to that. I got this nice
I'd like
house.
to stay home a little bit
I'd like
longer.
to chase her around for another game or two. There's no reason I.
No,
show
they're a cool couple though. They are
really.
And well, everything I've read about them.
Well, you can be cool when you're multimillionaires.
I guess so. I'd be real cool.
Which check do they
I'm not
cash
cool
first?
now, though.
I wonder if they have what do they call that? Dual income with kids.
Yeah,
God.
no kidding.
Anyway, what are we doing?
We're going to Brazil. There's some things that I want to share with you about Brazil, though.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that they are the 5th largest country in the world?
I did not know that.
They're huge.
Really huge.
They're huge.
They should seemingly have one of the best economies in the
They
world.
actually, they are though. They have, in addition to, they've actually got a couple other large countries in the South America: Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Guyana, Paraguay, Peru. I want to go to Peru.
We are going to go there.
We need to go to Machu Picchu. Anyways, that's another show. Anyway, they have 2 famous seaside destinations.
What's that?
They have the Copacabana
Really?
and Ipanema.
Didn't Ricky
Beaches.
Ricardo?
They're 2 beaches. 2 famous beaches.
Ricky Ricardo played at the
Ricky.
he played at the Copacabana.
They also have this amazing Christ the Redeemer. Everybody remembers and
Of course.
everybody recognizes that.
Mm-hmm.
That sits atop Mount Corcovado. And they have Sugarloaf also, which is basically a granite, huge bluff that they take cable cars to.
We're going to also talk about flying ants, Brazilian wandering spider, the bottlenose dolphin, the clown that got elected
And
to Congress.
Carnival.
Carnival. Coming back, Randy and Jean. welcome to Live Eco Style with Jean Latham and Randy Weckerly, and this week's feature coming to you from Rio de Janeiro. Coming on, coming back. Well, Jean, this is going to be one heck of a quick show. We got some great things to talk about, and I can't wait till we get to my segments on Who Knew.
Who knew? You love that, don't you? These weird facts.
These are not weird facts. These are things that you do not want to get away from. You know?
Do not want to get away from. Well,
No.
let's talk a little bit about the Olympics, though, first.
Sure.
Now, they say that there were 7.5 million tickets sold, but I'm looking in the stands, and I don't think so.
How do you squeeze 7.5 million anything into
I
that
have no
area?
idea.
I mean,
I have no idea. I don't know. It's kind of crazy, though. But anyways, yeah, they've got like 33 venues. They got over 306 competitions that are taking place. 10,500 athletes that are competing.
Mm-hmm.
They have over 205 countries that are being represented. It says the cheapest ticket was $40. Now, I would be hard pressed to find the $40 ticket because we looked online the other day,
Right.
and what were the prices on those? Do
More
you
than
remember?
that.
They were more than that. I mean, it was like, I don't know, $600 for like the cheap sheet.
Well, some of the events.
seats
Actually,
at
I mean, if you want to go to, well, last night they had the swimming trials on, and there wasn't anybody there. I think you could walk up and pay. The rumor is you can walk up and pay $35-$40 and get in.
Okay, well that makes sense. That makes sense. Here's a little fact that you would appreciate being a golfer.
Sure.
It's been 112 years since golf was last played at the Olympics, and
Right.
it returns this year.
Right.
Did you know that?
And it was won by a Canadian the last time.
112 years ago.
Well, he's not going to show up.
Maybe in spirit, just
But
in
no,
spirit.
you know, they've had a lot of talk about that in golf. A lot of the big golfers pulled out due to the Zika. We might get to that,
Right.
a little bit later. But, like somebody said last night, and I never thought of it this way, and it's too bad that those guys couldn't put in there, because on a resume, this is only going to be a one chance for these guys to play. Now, some of them might play 4 years from now. But on your resume, when you put down, I won the Masters, I won the U.S. Open, and I did this and I did that, but I was an Olympian for the United States of America.
Right.
I think that's pretty
pretty
special.
cool.
That's
It
pretty
is.
special. That's very, it's 4 guys,
Well,
basically.
Yeah, it is. Well, let's talk a little bit about that Zika,
Right.
just because
Alrighty.
it's been in the news.
Right.
It's been
Yeah.
all over. It's not just Rio de Janeiro, but
Right.
I mean, it's obviously been a factor in a lot of the athletes that participated or are participating in the Olympics.
Right.
But it is a pretty concerning issue around the country, and specifically in
Right.
some of the warmer climates, South America being one.
Right.
So, what do you know about it?
I know that at my age, it doesn't make any difference.
You're not planning on having
I'm
any
not planning on
children?
having any kids and not going to be doing it. I know that, though, because Zika is now been found in Miami.
Yes.
And actually, it's
Yes.
now in Illinois. They tell us that because of our climate here in Illinois, it's not a bothersome, except we have people in Illinois that have Zika virus due to their travel. Mm-hmm. So, well, I don't know whether it can be, I know it can go from man to woman during sex. Mm-hmm. And I know that
I've heard
the
that.
man can carry that in his sperm, basically.
Right.
So it's something they really have to be, and that's why the guys didn't go down and play. Honestly,
Right.
they're looking at having kids.
So it's basically, for anybody that's kind of, you'd have to be in a rock to not have heard about it, but
Right.
but it has also been referenced as the West Nile virus, which
Right.
I mean has been hit and miss over
Right.
the years in my lifetime. But I don't want to say it's epidemic, but it's pretty serious in some of the warmer climates. And like you said, people that are traveling, they come back with it, and that's how people get infected.
Well, and you have to give the women golfers a lot of credit. The women golfers, and again, they're of that age, but they didn't
Right.
back off. They're going to go down, and they're going to do it, and they're going to take their chances, and good for them. Mm-hmm. That's good for them. So everybody, I think you have to be cautious, but I don't think you have to stop living your life.
Right. Right.
Put your mosquito spray on and body armor, a full hat and mission, and the records aren't going to be set. But no, I think that all the people that go down there, I think they understand it, but they're still going to have a good time.
Right. Exactly. So Rio de Janeiro is really interesting. Our hometown in our backyard is Chicago, and
Right.
obviously Chicago is one of the cities that lost out for the opportunity to bring the Olympics to their city.
Right.
And Rio de Janeiro, they've had. We'll just get this out of the way right away.
All right.
Just because it's also been in the news again. It's not any earth-shattering information, and we certainly don't want to do any negative commentary. But it is out there, and people know about it. But they've had some issues. In 2009, when they were elected to have the Olympics come to them, their economy was pretty healthy, or healthier than it had been in a really long time. And shortly after they were nominated to bring the Olympics to their city, the president of Brazil was ousted. I think there's been 2 since then. Wow. So the political climate is pretty sketchy there right now. I think there's a lot of dissension among people. There's issues obviously with poverty. There's issues with just kind of municipality stuff, police officers and security and law enforcement. Right. People aren't getting paid. Things are sky high in terms of prices. I mean, I was looking at some of the hotels down there.
Right.
I mean, even like, just a kind of average, and average franchise was like $500, $600, $800 a night that I was looking at for rates. And I mean, that's pretty pricey, even with the U.S. economy doing well, let alone if you were from the country and wanted to travel, to see them. So anyway, there's a lot of things going on. The infrastructure was not as what they anticipated it was going to be for the Olympics and for the people that are coming to participate.
That's right.
They have these. Did you hear about this? They have these like floating cruise ships that people are staying in. Like people are checking. They were checking. They were getting there and they're checking into their hotel and they're like, "We're not staying here." And the accommodations were, it sounds like, pretty horrendous for a lot of the participants. So
well, they had Australia checked in. Went to a team meeting. They got their electronics out, their laptops, their computers, whatever. Now this is in the Olympic Village.
Right.
So these are in high rises.
Right. That were supposedly built or prepared for
with security.
The athletes. Yeah.
So they went back and found out that everything had already been stolen.
Oh, you told me about that.
Yeah. I was like, what is that? So
but literally a few hours, they came back. Somebody had to have been watching them.
They don't have to worry about it being stolen the rest of the trip because it's already gone.
Well,
and the thing
unless they get the new stuff stolen.
Well, let's go down to the local police, Polizia, and see what they can do. And they go, huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, and a lot, I mean, they're not, I don't know what it's like right in the city of Rio.
So one fun fact about elections down there. This is a fun fact, and who knew? We're going to get to that. But they have this Brazilian clown called Tiririca using slogans that include, "What does a federal government do? I really don't know. But if you vote for me, I'll tell you when I get there." So this clown says, it can't be any worse than what's going on. Vote for Tiririca. So when the election came around, he was the second most voted for congressman.
This is a bogus. Obviously, this is a bogus.
Real story.
Okay, so it's a clown, right? No, it really is a clown?
Clown,
okay.
Tiririca.
I don't know if it was like a made-up...
Tiririca.
So
they elected him. Now, he got 1,348,000 votes. And saying, I don't know what's going on there, but if you vote for me, I'll let you know.
Wow. That's a little frightening.
He's now getting his green card here, and he's looking to run.
Actually, he's running now, I think. He's like coming out.
Quiet.
Did you know that Brazil has... It's one of the countries that has the most airports in that country.
I did not
know. I think it's like second largest. It's
in the world, you saying?
Yeah, in the world.
Really?
Like I just was reading this, and I got to find this article.
And these are short little runways with planes that can take off with canvas bags, and they're not numbered. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know what that is. It's coffee. It's coffee.
Really? Sure.
Yeah.
We'll call it that.
Well, they're actually the largest.
When you drink our coffee,
producer of coffee.
Of course they are.
They are.
Well, good.
I'm not making it up.
Did they use Arabica beans?
No, that's in another country. That's in Costa Rica.
Oh, okay. I got confused. Well,
you're all about the Arabica.
Arabica. Okay. No, I did not know that. I cannot. That's amazing when you think about it. Most airports.
Yeah. I just read it, and I'm trying to find the article right now, and I can't find it.
Well, I'll tell you one of the other things.
I'll find it.
Well, let's talk about cashew trees.
I know nothing about cashew trees. Apparently, you did different research than I did.
This
so
is
go
very
with
important.
That.
Don't you like cashews?
Yeah, they're okay.
Wouldn't you like to have the biggest cashew tree growing for you and say I own that tree?
If there was cash on it, yes.
Okay. There's a single cashew tree in Natal, Brazil, that has a mutation, which is allowed to cover an area of 7,500 square miles. That's one tree. Right there, it's in black and white, and I found it on the internet. It's got to be true.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it is. These are from interesting facts about Brazil.
I don't believe that one. Go to the next.
Next one? Okay.
I don't believe that one.
Okay, in Laguna, Brazil, bottlenose dolphins actively herd fish toward local fishermen and then signal with tail slaps for the fishermen to throw their nets.
I actually do believe that because we've seen that. We've seen it where the dolphins
yeah, we
have
saw that
driven.
actively.
Yeah, down in down in Key Island in South Carolina.
We saw that actually happen.
Uh-huh.
And the collaboration between man and dolphins has been occurring there since 1847.
Well,
now, if that
dolphins
fact,
are smart. They're so smart. I love those animals.
They're not taxed.
What does it get to do with being smart?
I don't know.
I
It's
don't know
just
either.
taxes. Yeah.
Keep going with more facts, Randy.
Okay. Brazil couldn't have, sort of. So the Friday night event when they did the fireworks, they were saying even on TV that
This is at the Olympics.
the
we're
Olympics
talking. Okay.
again. I can play the music again if you want.
Well, you need a reference where you're at.
Okay,
You can jump it around.
slim down Olympics opening. So we saw China was spectacular, Los Angeles spectacular, Brazil fireworks.
How long were they?
Oh, about 12 seconds. That's it. And I waited 4 hours watching the NBC, opening.
Uh-huh.
I thought I'm going to be dazzled. It's the Olympics.
Well, yeah, that's actually why I watch the Olympics
Right.
is to see the opening. I mean, it's always
Be dazzled.
spectacular. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So I found myself watching dating naked and then turning back. No, it's still boring. And then
You watched that show? Whoa.
it just happened to be there. And then
Yikes.
reruns of Shark Tank.
I'm concerned.
And then I turned back. Okay. And then I
Thinking
found
something better was going to show up.
And then I found Dobie Gillis. Like the Olympics and then they said they had 3 billion with a B people around the world watching the opening night to the Olympics.
Isn't that crazy?
And there's
and there are 3 billion people sorely disappointed, apparently.
And it was
Like,
commercial heaven.
Did you know, actually, the main channel, I was just reading this the other day, too, the main television channel did not even, in Rio, did not even show it. They opted for, seriously, they opted for like a soccer or football
General
game.
Hospital.
Or something. No, it was like a sporting event that they opted for, but they did not even, and I think it was kind of like this underlying tone that's going on, that people are pretty, they're pretty pissed off about it. They're like, because there are so many challenges within the country that
You're putting money this way.
Yeah, exactly.
So one more fun fact: Brazil couldn't afford to send its athletes to the Los Angeles 1932 Olympics. So they loaded them onto a ship full of coffee, and made them sell it on the way just to earn their way in the ship.
Well, that's adventuresome.
Hey,
that's like being entrepreneurial.
Can I run? When you go to knock on somebody's door, hey, can I run and get a cup of coffee? And when they mean run, they mean it. I'll be back in a minute.
Running.
Wait a minute. I got the stopwatch. I'll be back in 38.8 seconds. Pretty crazy.
Oh, my gosh.
One more fun fact. Brazil has the biggest Japanese community outside of Japan.
I did not know that.
Why would that be?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Are you going to enlighten me? Or
Not
you
right
know?
now. I'm going to go back to it. No. I got so many facts about
Yeah, we got
this.
time here, okay?
No, go right ahead.
We only got so much
Go right
time.
ahead, Gene. We'll get back to your stuff.
Well, no. I'm not saying that. We can talk more about your stuff, but if
No,
you're going
I
to
got-
talk about it, talk about it now.
No, I got a whole... Go ahead, young Gene.
Hey, let's talk. Let's talk about fun things to do.
Oh, wait a minute. I got one more.
One more.
Well, we'll have to come back to that.
Oh, great timing.
Yeah, flying ants.
Who knew?
Who knew? Coming soon to DistilleryChannel.com, and along with our award-winning Where to Play Golf radio team, we'll be traveling to great destinations like Hawaii, the Golden Isles of Georgia, Napa and Sonoma, and even Lake Tahoe. Even more spectacular, you can now sign up to join us on our 2016 Station for Vacation listener trips, rated for you, our loyal fans. Join myself, Randy Weckerly, and Jean Latham of the DistilleryChannel.com and LiveEcoStyle.com, along with Where to Play Golf's Michael Stewart, America's #1 golf course writer, and Tim Bona, travel correspondent, as we venture to these world-class destinations. Join us on future trips will be golf iconic LPGA Hall of Famer Nancy Lopez and her Nancy Lopez Golf Adventure Team. Learn the finer points of golf and enjoying life while sharing one-on-one moments with Nancy and her team and learn what makes a real pro tick. Sign up now to get more information about our fall and spring upcoming trips. More information can be found at thedistillerychannel.com, wheretoplaygolf.com. That's thedistillerychannel.com. Join us. Well, Gene, coming back sometime this afternoon, we're going to talk about flying ants.
Flying ants.
And
Is there a problem with them in Brazil?
Well, more than that, the Brazilian wandering spider. That one will get you going.
They'll choke you up, huh?
No, well, I don't. No, you saying that? No, now I can't talk about it.
I can't talk about it.
Not now.
Okay.
It has something to do with men's health issues.
Okay.
Okay, where are we going next, Gene?
We're going back to the Olympics. I think we should return to the Olympics since this is our special edition Olympics show.
Thank goodness we had the music to bring us in again.
How did you do that?
I didn't. That's the orchestra we have in the pit. You see it down there? Itzhak Pitterman. Let it go.
Hello.
Gets my heart pitter-patter. Can you imagine what it'd be like walking into a stadium and you got the American flag on your back and they're playing this music and you now have trained for how many years to get there? You know?
Yeah. And some of these athletes, years and years. I mean, they've been through this rodeo a couple times. I cannot imagine the exhilarating feeling. Oh. I mean, I can, but I can't.
No. It just is... Back in the day, there was, if I would have trained harder and thrown the discus further, when I was very youthful, it was sort of an interesting discussion, very preliminary when I was a young man in high school, and I thought, man, I could be in the Olympics. Oh, my goodness. Didn't work out that way. This thing called Vietnam got in the middle of things.
You went to Vietnam?
No, I did not. I went to college.
You went to Canada.
No, I did not. I was going to enlist, honestly, and I got a high draft. I don't want to go into that.
I'm just busting your chops.
I admire all those guys that are in the service, and we got to thank them for everything that they do, and it just turned out that I didn't do that. I didn't have to, and things changed. So anyway, but we do admire our servicemen because they certainly protect us, and we give them all thanks.
Oh, absolutely. We are lucky. You know, when I was reading about the articles of the issues and challenges that they're having in Rio de Janeiro, prior to the Olympics starting, and I feel so fortunate. As much stuff that's going on here in the United States, we are certainly fortunate for where we live and the level of protection that we have.
Well, those guys that have been on the line, all volunteer. Mm-hmm. And they put their life and their heart. And I was going down the road, actually coming into Wisconsin the other day. We went up to see Nancy Lopez, and there was this motorhome. Actually, you were driving. And a motorhome next to us, they had 4-generation Marines. Mm-hmm. So that meant the son, probably now, the dad, and the granddad, and then the great-granddad.
Mm-hmm. Great. That's cool.
Man, I'll tell you what. You talk about a dedicated family. It just brought tears to my eyes. It's crazy. So, thank you, guys. Anyway, what are we doing? Olympics.
We're back to the Olympics.
We are.
You're going to give me some facts, I think. You're going to give me some facts about Olympics. Or you're going to make it up.
No, I got right here. Again, if it's on the internet, it's got to be true.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So back in, because I was interested in the discus, it's one of the most amazing things to watch because it's done in the decathlon. It's been going on since the 1904 Summer Olympics. The record back in 1904 for the men's discus was won by Martin Sheridan of the United States, or Ralph Rose of the United States. They both apparently threw exactly the same distance.
Really?
Yeah, co-holders. And the distance was 128 feet, 10 inches. Mm-hmm. So fast forward 150, what would it be? 2004, 108 years later, through good nutrition and diet and weightlifting and things change, we now double that. Those guys throwing 128 would have to throw it twice to get close to what the guys are throwing it on the first throw.
Isn't that interesting, in terms of the involvement of athletes, though, over the years? I mean, they just keep getting better and better. They're like hybrids.
Yeah. Well, again, it is through, just training, and people today seem like they are getting bigger, Mm-hmm. But here's another one. 1900 Summer Olympics. The record in the 100-meter dash was won by Luther Carey. And this is actually sort of interesting. He won it in 10.8 seconds. And the record today, to be totally accurate, set And it was, which is rather amazing. Golly gosh, ill prepared. But it's around 9.6. Yeah, 100. It's 9.63. Usain Bolt. I knew it was him. 9.63. So they knocked off 1.2 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's an eternity in that dash. I mean, you'd be about 10 yards ahead.
Wow.
10 yards ahead. You'd be finishing when you're having a cup of coffee by the time the next guy, the guy from the record holder. That's just incredible. And so who knows why that is, but the Olympics are those athletes today. When you look at what they're doing in the records, I mean, the records now go incrementally, just little bit by little bit. But when they do it,
of seconds.
Yeah. Well, if they get that, hundreds of seconds in swimming.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy. So, I want to talk about something.
Fine.
Two.
This is your show. Awesome.
I want to talk. You know me. I love to have a good time, right?
I know, yes.
So we cannot talk about Rio de Janeiro without talking
baby
about...
oil?
No. Without talking about the carnival.
Well, baby oil.
Baby oil? What does that have to do with the carnival?
That's the guy that came marching in the other night. Go ahead.
What the heck are you talking about?
Wait till you see that. You'll know what I mean.
I have no idea
Everybody
what you're
listening
talking
knows
about.
what I mean.
Okay, so the carnival. It's the world's largest
Right.
in Rio de Janeiro.
Right.
Kicks off 40 days before Lent. That's a fine way to celebrate Lent. Do you not think?
Absolutely.
I wanted to go there. I have envisioned myself going there, and I will before I leave this earth go to it. And it is the biggest, brashest jamboree of its kind in the world.
Okay.
It's compared to none. So it was started in 1723.
Really?
So long time ago.
Right.
Right now, it presently has about 4.9 million people that attend it.
How do they get everybody around a table?
Well, I think that there's a lot of activity. They have like over 1,000. There's like, what was I was reading? They had like over 1,000 bands and parades that were kind of associated with the bands and stuff. They have, it says it's 5 days, runs for 5 days.
And nights?
And nights.
Is there any break?
I think it all blurs in together.
I was gonna say.
You know what? Actually, here's the other interesting thing. There's a mythical jester that runs the city during this time, and I need to read and learn a little bit more about this.
Okay.
But apparently, during the carnival time, the mayor hands over the keys to the city to a man called King Momo, and this legendary party animal takes the helm of the city throughout the jamboree. Apparently, towards the end, though, you don't see him as much, and they suggest that it possibly might be due to too much partying, so a little hangover. So he's not around as much towards the tail end of it as he is the beginning.
Right.
But I just found that he's called a mythical jester.
And
King
they find out that city government runs better during that
King
time.
Momo. I think everybody's happier during that
nobody's
time. People are drinking and dancing, and there's parades and beautiful, the outfits and the
costumes.
things. Yeah, the costumes that people wear are just
Feathery things.
feathery.
And they cover all their body. I mean, it's just very little.
Very little, but they're
a lot of skin showing.
Oh, there's some of the most beautiful people
women.
ever in this world. Well, men too. Just
Really?
saying, yeah.
You've noticed?
Men and women, yeah, a couple times I've
Really?
noticed that.
Well, research. Research
All
is
about
always
research. Here's one thing you can't do during carnival. Well, you can, but you're gonna get fined for it. You can't pee in the street.
good. Right.
$131 fine.
That sounds remarkable that would. Hello.
Like, how are they gonna catch him?
Go to the judge. Yes, judge. But what am I supposed to do? You should have seen the line. 4.2 million people.
250,000 public toilets are needed.
How many?
250,000.
And where did I don't want to even go there. There's just some other issues
I
we're
know.
going to cover.
There's some other issues
Yeah.
going on with their whole
Their ecosystem.
how to get rid of their
Well,
stuff.
one of the things, if we get to it, is there's this big thing of how to clean up the ocean and water that's been advocated for other parts of the world.
Right.
I thought maybe we'd send them that in a little note in the mail.
Here's how you clean the water
This worked
out.
in the Pacific. You might want to take a look at this.
Let's talk about it.
All
I mean,
right.
okay. I mean, it's a reality of it right
Right.
now. Let's talk about it.
Right.
One of the concerns with the Olympians down there right now is that anybody that's involved with any kind of
Right.
water sports, i.e., in the ocean, it's very dirty.
Right.
Apparently, there are places that they're dumping like their raw sewage into
Right.
the ocean.
Right.
And again, I don't want to disrespect any area, but
Right.
it's a reality. I mean, I've read it and done enough research that is a big problem down there.
I've seen some films of it.
Uh-huh.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And again, I have a friend who's in the medical world.
Mm-hmm.
Former worked as a.
Do you have a friend?
I rent them. I get it from
It's
Rent a
a
Friend.
rent-a-friend.
It's a day rental. But I got
There's
I got
an idea.
I got a 30-day. Well, you did.
30-day pass.
Okay, now really to diverge. Can't you? You can rent friends for all kinds of things in Brazil.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
Well, you said
I'm sure you can because what I understand, I think prostitution is legal there, correct?
That's what I was going to.
Yeah.
But not with my friend.
No, good, because he's a guy.
He's a guy. Well, I thought we'd get a twofer.
God. Okay, that's next.
So in other words, if two guys buy a prostitute, all I want to know is that he starts it and I finish it.
Oh, my God. Okay.
We'll go on to the next topic.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, prostitution is legal. And
we're going to get back to these
there's
flying
some places
ants.
that you don't want to stay while you're down there. You still want to talk about flying ants.
The Brazilian spider. We'll be right back.
All right.
Coming soon, the DistilleryChannel.com, and along with our award-winning Where to Play Golf radio team, will be traveling to great destinations like Hawaii, the Golden Isles of Georgia, Napa and Sonoma, and even Lake Tahoe. Even more spectacular, you can now sign up to join us on our 2016 Station for Vacation listener trips, created for you, our loyal fans. Join myself, Randy Weckerly, and Jean Latham of the DistilleryChannel.com, and LiveEcoStyle.com, along with Where to Play Golf's Michael Stewart, America's #1 golf course writer, and Tim Bona, travel correspondent, as we venture to these world-class destinations. Join us on future trips will be golf iconic LPGA Hall of Famer Nancy Lopez and her Nancy Lopez Golf Adventure Team. Learn the finer points of golf and enjoying life, while sharing one-on-one moments with Nancy and her team, and learn what makes a real pro tick. Sign up now to get more information about our fall and spring upcoming trips. More information can be found at thedistillerychannel.com, wheretoplaygolf.com. That's thedistillerychannel.com. Join us. Well, Gene, we're coming back. Are you asking me to pronounce something? What is this?
One note that I've ever sent you in our shows, I send it to you, and I have really good handwriting, by the way. You do. And you're like looking at it like I've got a third eye in the middle of my forehead.
Piranhas?
No, I can't pronounce it. It says
Caipirinha.
Okay, well, that's another topic.
Caipirinha.
Anyway. All right.
Not a problem. Move on. Espanol lessons.
Oh, my goodness.
Number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3. You know, I want to talk about something. I want to talk about the girl from, I'm going to say this wrong, Ipanema?
You did? You said perfect.
Ipanema.
That's the music they played with Chazelle.
Everybody knows this song, though. Yeah. I don't care how old you are. If you're 5, you've heard this song. Well, sing it, Randy.
I don't know that song.
It goes, okay, so the song first of all, it's an infamously elusive girl from Ipanema.
Yeah.
And that comes from an affluent neighborhood in Rio de Janeiro. There was a song written about it. And the song goes, and I'm a terrible singer too, but it's that tall and tan and young and lovely. It is, but it's like it's like this old classic song. But it was written in Brazil, and this girl was in the 1960s.
Is this it?
It was like 17. No, this isn't it. You should have this song on here. Why are we not playing that song?
It's probably copyrighted. They can't do it.
But it's old. It's old. It was like in the 1960s. I think it was written or some.
This is for our drink recipe, Gene.
Oh. We're going to talk cocktails.
Jump.
We're going to talk cocktails.
Brazilian. You said you wanted to be, have some of that stuff.
Brazilian.
At whatever, Brazil Fest or whatever you wanted to go to down there.
Carnival.
I think
Brazil Fest.
Same thing. It's like Pumpkin Festival in Illinois.
The Pumpkin Festival.
Jump.
So we got a great cocktail. We have the Brazil's favorite cocktail. It has 3 basic ingredients.
Go.
Plus ice. You have to pronounce it for me, though.
Caipirinha.
Yeah. All right.
Go ahead. We'll go with that.
It is. Actually, it's Brazil's national spirit distilled from sugarcane juice.
Yeah.
It's a cousin to rum. So it's going to taste like rum. Do you like rum? Which I do.
Yeah.
I like rum.
Yeah.
They use molasses instead. So it's sold aged or unaged. And it's between 76 and 108 proof. Typically, so some pretty.
So people just got to be sleeping on the beach during Brazil Fest.
So.
What's that Brazil Fest you're calling?
Carnival.
Okay, go ahead.
Carnival, however you want to say it.
This
All right, so this is, normally we have kind of a funny and interesting drink, but we had to talk about this one because it is a classic of Brazil. It is a classic, and specifically Rio de Janeiro. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the places to eat and drink down there, too. So, anyway, what this is, it is 2 ounces of cachaca. You know what? I need to learn Spanish so bad.
We're going to do that.
I know.
I got a book.
Okay. It has 1/2 large lime. It's cut into quarters and 2 teaspoons of sugar. So it is a sugary. You're going to be sticky.
I think
do not spill.
So you're going to be sticky. You're going to have a drink and you can't pee in the streets. All right, go ahead. I got to take the notes.
You're going to muddle it. You muddle limes. You muddle. You know, you take one of the muddlers.
Yeah,
muddle the limes in the bottom of the glass with the sugar, and then you pour the cachaca over the top of it with crushed or cracked ice and stir generously.
Awesome.
And drink generously.
Awesome.
No, it's fun. So for those of you who could not come to the Olympics, you could have your own party with this featured at home. I have a little story to tell you about how you could have your own Olympic party.
Great.
Great.
Well, can we get to that? I just got one more fact about prostitutes in Brazil.
What does that have to do with a drink?
Well, just listen to this for a minute. You're talking about learning Spanish.
Correct.
So they have down there, with all their troubles that they have.
Translators.
Well, no. With all the money, all they could afford was basically a firework package from somewhere bought in Wisconsin for their opening. Yeah, it was better than that. But anyway, in preparation for the World Cup, prostitutes in Brazil were enrolling in free English classes so they could provide better service for tourists during World Cup.
Well, that's what you call, being a gracious host, I guess.
Bring everybody up to speed.
I'd like to speak your language. How much language do you have to learn to do that, though? Really, I mean, I think a lot of it's probably nonverbal.
Sign language?
Yeah,
I don't want to go there.
I'm just saying, how much conversation goes on there?
I don't know. $5 make you holla.
Apparently, nice. But apparently, I suppose if you're whatever, I don't know how it rolls, but if you were in a bar or whatever, I suppose you have to engage with conversation at some level. Right. So yeah, a little English or whatever other language might be something that they need to know.
Could you take me home to Mom? It'd be that whole 3.5 Men thing.
Oh
Mom,
my gosh.
Really?
Here she is.
Twofer. It's a twofer.
Oh my God.
Okay, next.
Next.
We were talking about eating?
Yes.
Because now I can put some music for eating.
Well,
great places to eat in Brazil.
Good to know.
All right. Well, when you're wandering around trying to find a place to eat, I have one more warning when you go to Brazil.
What's that?
Okay. So I got to get to this. The bite from the Brazilian wandering spider. All right. Maybe you should do this before you go to your English-speaking prostitute. Because it said it can cause an erection that lasts for hours and can lead to impotence. So you're going to have a good time.
That sounds terrible.
Well, it's called, I had to warn people, the Brazilian wandering spider.
The Brazilian wandering spider.
So everybody knows when you've just been bit by a...
You can't even say it. You can't even muff the words.
You might think about the Zika thing with the mosquitoes, but the wandering spider, I think, wow.
That would be even more... Well, I'm fine. I mean, I'd be fine with it.
Of course.
You're whatever.
But if you see all these guys wandering out of a restaurant that had a whole bunch of Brazilian spiders, it'll be easy to figure out what happened. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Hey, I want to talk, before we talk about the food and the dining,
right.
I want to talk a little bit about the favelas. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
So in the city of Brazil, there is a number of, they call it their shanty towns, basically. So
really?
they're people that are of lesser income, and they're quite interesting. So for people that want to go off the beaten path and really kind of immerse yourself into culture and stuff,
right.
Ipanema and some of the beachside communities and stuff, they're going to be a little higher end, and maybe not give you the true feeling for what the area is like.
Right.
So I would do this. It sounds like so interesting to me. But the food, the art, the music, the people are supposed to be fabulous. But there are 600 favelas that are shanty towns in Rio. There's an estimated 6% of Brazil's population lives there, And 65% of the residents there are considered middle class. Now, mind you, their income right now it's really difficult for a lot of people to, have any, great quality of lifestyle. But these people, they make it their lifestyle. I mean, they live within their means, and it just sounds like there's so much culture and so much you could learn and kind of embed yourself in the community with, like I said, the food and the music and the people and that. They do a lot of tours where people from the area will actually take you through these communities to kind of guide you, because it's streets and things like that are a little jiggity, but they take you through there and you get to meet a lot of people and kind of experience the culture, and that's the kind of stuff that I really enjoy doing.
Well, I think that's one of the things we want to do in this whole thing, go in and bring down people to really get embedded within the community.
Right.
Really figure out what it's about. Good food and how they eat, and, they have, because I'll tell you what, down in Brazil, isn't the Amazon in Brazil?
Yeah, it is.
Did you find anything out about that? Are you going to bring into that at all?
It's a jungle.
All right,
in a rainforest.
So about this
well, no,
jungle.
it's. I mean, it is. It's. Well, I mean, we've read about the Amazon. It's an amazing tropical environment that's full of tons of animals and flora and fauna, and some dangerous. You probably want to have a guide, especially if it's your first rodeo through there, because there are some things to be concerned about. There's a lot of wildlife and things there, but not so dangerous that it's not okay to participate. You just want to make sure who you're going with.
Well, I think I'm going to have a guide.
I think I would too, and you know how adventuresome I am, but I'm pretty sure that I would not go wandering into the Amazon on my own.
I think some of the Amazon statistics, and this goes back to my college days, but I think the water that's brought from the Amazon, I think, unloads into the ocean. Just an amazing amount of water, probably one of the largest water distribution collection regions in the world. I think the amount of oxygen that's distributed into the air from the forests and the such that are in the Amazon is extremely meaningful to the planet. And I think some of the greatest finds actually in medicine and just going in and doing research have been cancer cures and things like that. So not to get too technical on it, but the Amazon is a huge area that I think I'll let somebody else give me some notes.
We're gonna get Bob. Bob would be big on that.
Bob is going to take
Your
us
friend
down
Bob
to Peru.
would be big on that.
Dr. Bob's going to take us down to Peru. That has some interest in me. And that's going to be a cool trip on its own, because the guy down there that he's done this trip.
Right.
This guy gets into holistic medicine. He gets into what's going on actually when you go into the woods, and he takes us to was it Machu Picchu?
Machu Picchu?
Machu Picchu, whatever.
Yeah.
And that trip, I'm going to tell you what's going to be one of our destination trips. I looked up and saw what that's going to cost, and it's not going to be very much for what you're going to get for a week's tour. And this is great people. So, again, that's going to be in Peru. But a lot of, we did Costa Rica, and now we're doing Brazil and Peru. So South America is going to be, Belize is going to be coming up.
It's big. There's a lot of, there's a ton of them in Central America, Panama, like I said, Costa Rica, Belize. There's some pretty fantastic.
Well, Belize is going to be, we're going to get into scuba diving there, Gene.
We are? I would love to. I would love to. That's one thing I've not done.
Yeah. My brother said, nobody's ever been bitten by a shark in Belize. So actually I went and looked it up. Hey, that just sounds not right. They've had 2 non-fatal shark attacks. One was in 1939, and the other one was like 12 years ago. And
really?
That's remarkable.
That's interesting,
really. A lot of sharks are
That's not the case in a lot of those kind of places around the country that we've been to.
No, in fact, no. I'll just leave it go at that. The sharks are in the water.
Sharks?
It's like the swimming over to Molokini and down in the crevasse that we were swimming over. There's got to be something down there. We just can't see it. So anyway.
I was just looking here a little bit. I was reading on some the food thing. Did you know they have this? There's pretty significant Middle Eastern influence in
had no idea.
Rio de Janeiro.
Really?
Yeah. There was a lot of immigration over the years from Lebanon and Syria, and it happened not a long time ago. So most of these citizens are pretty prominent Brazilian citizens, but there's a really heavy Middle Eastern kind of sense for or experience with the food. So I found that very interesting. Obviously, in addition, they have their great Latin food there. Amazing. They've got distilleries, wineries, breweries all around the country.
Really?
They actually have I was reading, they have a brewery tour, which we'll talk about that with another show that we have.
Channel.
But yeah. So
DistilleryChannel.com.
Yes. So anyways, but they have an amazing beer. Beer is quite expensive, so a lot of people brew their own.
Really?
Actually, everything's quite expensive there, but specifically beer seems to be pretty popular down there. So there's a lot of breweries popping up, craft kind of micro breweries.
So what do you get for food when you go down there? Is it like typical Spanish food?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, what's
rice, tostadas?
Your basic food. Obviously, it's like any place. There's there's going to be there's street food. There's the cafes where the locals go, and then there's your very high end food that you'll see at a lot of the resorts and places like that.
Right.
But they're pretty famous for some of their dishes down there. They have. A lot of local people, kind of local community. I saw when I was reading a lot of community type places that people gather and where they eat and they drink and they're like a lot of outside cafes and things like that.
Well, I think it's going to be pretty much the South American fare, and I think it's going to be. Here's one of the things that they're doing to advocate to help fight crime and people in prisons. Just another fun fact I just wanted to throw in there. There is the Ronaldo da Silva prison in Santa Rita do Sapucaí. I can't pronounce that. Sapucaí, Brazil, allows inmates to pedal stationary bicycles and power streetlights in a nearby city in exchange for reduced sentences.
So they hook them up to a streetlight
generator
and let them go.
It. All right.
Hey, you could have your fitness program and serve time.
Who
watches them though?
They're doing it in the prison.
Oh, got it.
They have a little bike, and then they
That's
pedal.
Crazy.
And it goes, and so, okay, Main and Elm, go. We got the lights on. They also offer prisoners in Brazil, reduced sentences, 48 days a year for every book they read, and write a report on it. Mm-hmm. I think that's actually, that's pretty interesting.
I think it is. I think it's a good thing.
Anyway, not that you want to be in prison in Brazil, but
but if you have to be,
there could be an out.
If you are.
Anyway, where are we going?
Hey, you know what? I want to talk a little bit about where to stay while we're there.
Okay.
Hey, are you familiar with the Belmond collection of hotels?
I do. We're going to be talking about that right after this break.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
I can't wait because they
that
got
one.
pretty
You showed me a picture of that.
Fabulous location there.
And these are our new friends that we're advocating for on a global basis.
Yep. Yeah.
For
no.
some of our trips.
Well, and the thing is, they do some of the most eco-friendly type things in terms of how their properties function. So
be right back, Randy and Jean. Coming soon to DistilleryChannel.com, and along with our award-winning Where to Play Golf radio team, we'll be traveling to great destinations like Hawaii, the Golden Isles of Georgia, Napa and Sonoma, and even Lake Tahoe. Even more spectacular, you can now sign up to join us on our 2016 Station for Vacation listener trips, created for you, our loyal fans. Join myself, Randy Weckerly, and Jean Latham of the DistilleryChannel.com and LiveEcoStyle.com, along with Where to Play Golf's Michael Stewart, America's #1 golf course writer, and Tim Bona, travel correspondent, as we venture to these world-class destinations. Join us on future trips. Will be golf iconic LPGA Hall of Famer Nancy Lopez in her Nancy Lopez Golf Adventure Team. Learn the finer points of golf and enjoying life while sharing one-on-one moments with Nancy and her team and learn what makes a real pro tick. Sign up now to get more information about our fall and spring upcoming trips. More information can be found at thedistillerychannel.com, wheretoplaygolf.com. That's thedistillerychannel.com. Join us. Well, Jean.
Well, Randy.
Last segment.
Did something bad happen?
No, I wanted to talk a little bit about food. One of the things
You're kind of scaring me.
If you're feeling a little ambitious, go big and try to recreate the Brazilian steakhouse experience at home. If you love your red meat and have been one of Portland's 2 downtown churrascarias, or Fuga de Chao at the Brazil, we've eaten a Fuga de Chao, right?
Yeah, here in the States.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is that you'll recall that they're all about meat.
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it at home. And we're going to be loading up our plate with your heart's content. In the spirit, you can set a buffet table with a selection of your favorite grilled meats, from steaks and sausages to bacon-wrapped chicken.
Are we pretending to be in Rio, or what are we doing?
No, not at all. We're just doing this at home.
I'm like, are we done talking about Rio?
No, not at all.
Okay.
This is just Fuga de Chao. It's food that is Brazilian food, okay? And basically what they're saying is, so you want to go into what's really cool if you want to do it at your own house, is that you can bring in hearts of palm, vegetable harvested from the inside of certain palm trees, and often sold in cans. That doesn't sound good. Caramelized bananas can add sweet note to the savory selection. Black beans, a lot of love. And for dessert, you can go creamy with flan or your tropical fruit dessert, or a sweet with a drizzle of dulce la leche, your favorite baked good. Let's help people help themselves in Brazilian hospitality. Let's serve them meat, Gene.
All right. Apparently the meat's the thing.
It's all about the meat.
So there's actually some really cool food truck. I mean, there's so much. I mean, the food, we could do a whole thing on food.
Yeah, let's go to the Belmont Hotel. We've started that.
The Belmont.
Yeah.
So you know about the Belmont, right?
Well, we know something, a little bit.
Well, some things
they have
about
some
the Belmont.
of the top hotels in the world.
They have a location that is none less than spectacular. Belmont Copacabana Palace in Rio de Janeiro.
Really?
And we're very familiar with their resorts.
Right.
And it's got this it's got a really cool thing going on specifically for the Olympics.
Right.
They have a whole art installation that they have put in there. Now, mind you, it's a 5-star, minimally a 5-star hotel.
Right.
Stunning. It's got a real kind of classic architecture for the area. But anyway, they have this installation, and it is it's butterflies. It's a butterfly themed theatrical light projection gliding across the front of the hotel's 7-story facade. And I saw it on a video, and it is stunning. It's
Really?
it's breathtaking.
It's a facade that's on the outside of it?
No, it's the front of the building.
Really?
And they have this whole art installation that runs all the way across the front of it. It's all lit up with all these multicolors
Really?
and butterflies flying and things like
Really?
that.
So what does it look like inside your room at night?
Probably like at a disco. You're probably at. You remember discos back in the 70s?
Each room has one of those mirrored balls.
Okay, but here's the other interesting thing: is
Yeah.
each butterfly carries a different country's flag on its wings.
Really?
The display echoes the coming together of nations to celebrate cultural diversity.
Really?
The Belmont adopts the butterfly as a symbol of hope and represents the promise of new life, strength found in fragile beauty, and a journey well traveled. So I just thought that was really cool.
And it's a cool looking place.
And they are. If you've never had the opportunity to stay at a Belmont, they are fantastic. They have them all over.
We have them on our website.
I know, we do. I know.
Yeah.
And I have to go and even do a little more research of some of their locations, but they have them internationally.
Yeah, they have. When we've looked at it, we were like, oh my goodness. But I think I looked up, I think they're one of the top 10 hotels, I think, was in London. Of all the hotels in the world.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
And I think that anything. Oh, wait a minute.
I hear music.
Oh, wait a minute.
What is this?
Things that happened on this day in history, no matter where you're at, whether you're in Brazil, you want to stand back and you want to think about this. The Kon-Tiki expedition that was going from South America over to through the Pacific Ocean and so forth crashed on this day.
That's a bad day.
A bad day. In England, I found this fascinating when you got that whole spider thing down there. 1935, flying ants were plaguing London, England, even stopping a tennis tournament. So it's sort of an Olympic theme. Heaps of noxious insects were invading pantries and piling up on doorsteps. That's a bad thing. And Japan, and I hate to say this because nuclear bomb we don't like, but they put a comment in the paper. Japan Imperial Headquarters stated in the paper that a new type of bomb had been dropped, causing considerable damage.
That's ba-doom boom. That's putting it lightly.
I don't like that, but that's
terrible.
It's
oh my God.
Not only that the U.S. confirmed it was a single bomb later. And strangely, today in 1959, the Space Explorer X6 was the first spacecraft that took a picture of Earth in orbit. But moreover, to end in a happy note and a sad note, 1957, Laurel and Hardy, the famous, Laurel and Hardy team.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Well, on this day, Oliver Hardy passed away.
Sad.
Who knew?
Who knew?
But there's a lot of things happened on August 7th. Back to Brazil.
Did you know you're a coffee drinker? We talked about this a little bit ago.
I know I'm a
coffee drinker. Brazil is one of the world's top. It is the world's top producer of coffee beans for the past century and a half. 150 years.
Really?
They have produced the largest and best quantity of coffee beans in the world.
No kidding. Well, that's good to know.
The caffeine will keep you up for the late night Olympics recap with Ryan Seacrest, in case you're tired, because I know you sometimes need a little caffeine.
I may not be sitting up for Ryan. Ryan Seacrest, of all, must be a famous athlete. Is he an athlete?
I don't think so. No, he's a movie star, I think. Ryan Seacrest? I think. I have no idea who he is.
He's the MC on American Idol.
Oh, I was going to say, I have no idea. Well, I don't watch that, so yeah, I guess,
he's on that, and he does his own talk show. So he's our Olympic specialist tonight.
He is the recapper.
Awesome. I like
the NBC recapper.
About the time I drink a cup of coffee to stay awake to listen to Ryan Seacrest, just poke my eyes out.
You've hit bottom. Boom, you're up.
Man.
You were up here, and then you went like this.
No, I crashed. Well, that's part of my career. Pull it up, Randy. So, I don't know. I was thinking of doing this last segment topless just to see if I could, because guys can go topless in Brazil.
They can. Women cannot.
But just to save the fan that's watching this, I'm not going to do that. We want to continue right to the end of the show, which is about 10 minutes. Where are we going next, Gene?
My goodness.
We have a lot to cover here in Brazil.
Where do you want to go, Randy?
Well, I want to talk about the Olympics.
Because that's what this show is about.
It is.
All right.
Yeah. So some of the things that in the Olympics, the decathlon.
Yes.
So we have a famous decathlete that now is a famous female model.
Who's that?
Caitlin.
It's like, who are you talking about?
Bruce Jenner.
Forgot that.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Sorry.
He's a twofer.
I didn't.
They play mixed singles.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah,
and
I didn't get it.
Here's this guy, again, one of the most amazing stories, I think. And again, when he was the deal in the Olympics.
Oh, he
Best
was.
athlete in the world, good-looking
He
guy.
was, yeah.
Now, in my opinion, he's still a good-looking guy.
And a good-looking girl.
Yeah, well, if he went to Brazil, they do. And here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
Down there, it's included in their national insurance that if you want to get a sex change, you can go in and sign up, go get it done.
Well, and I honestly, I think they have a relatively high number of gay and not to mix the two up, but gay and transgender. When I was reading, just researching and stuff, like 18 to 20% of the population falls in that category. So, I mean, and it's probably comparable. I don't know. Is it comparable to the U.S.?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I think it's in that category. But remember we were talking to Dr. Bob the other day? He was talking about the whole
neurological, genetic
that happens. A lot of things have to go.
It's very interesting, yeah.
And again, here, when we're taking us out, we're going to be walking out through the end of the end of the tunnel here in a minute, Gene. It's been a great show.
I feel like an Olympian.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Rocky.
Yeah. Rocky goes to the Olympics. I wonder how that'd look. He'd be looking.
He could have.
Yeah.
I wonder if he could. Yeah, he could have.
If he's still at the age of 70, he'd go down there and give him a good battle.
He's got some gray. Did you see this picture of him the other day? He's got some gray hair going on.
No, at age 70,
I think he quit dyeing it.
Poor guy. I mean, he's been around, but what a great guy. But again, as a tribute to all the athletes that are down there, I hope everybody is safe. I hope everybody has a great Olympics.
Successful.
I hope a lot of records are broken and challenged, and
I hope it's good for the community. I hope it's good for the city. They're dealing with some challenges there, and we want the best for anybody wherever it is in this country and in this world. And so
we don't want any terrorism to be part of this news story, and we want that whole thing just to go away. But on Live Eco Style, it's all about holistic and happy living, loving your family, and loving companies that you work for.
Eating well, drinking well, good life, good lifestyle, being zen.
Yeah, we're all champions in life, and
experiencing culture.
Yeah, and I think that with the things that we have going within Live Eco Style, some people don't really understand what it's all about. And I think that's what we're trying to explain.
Well, because it's not a finite lifestyle. Yeah. When you say eco style, it's more than just living, from an ecological perspective and sustainability. There's a lot of other factors that go into it. It's quality of life.
Well, they had State of India friended us on Twitter, and so I looked up their website, and so eco to them, it's called Eco2 or something like that.
Right.
But it's economic and ecological minded.
Well, it is, and that has a lot to do with it because the economics has a lot to do with it because when you're buying stuff from the local area, you're putting money back in the community, and you're hiring people, and people are employed. It's making economics in your own community healthy.
Right. And the thing of it is that what they did, I think they called it Eco2 was their website, and so I looked at what was going on in India and really didn't think about it because they've huge population. I don't know, second or third in the world in terms of population, and they have the same issues, but when you look at what we're trying to do is that from a standpoint of lifestyle and experiencing everyday ritual.
Uh-huh.
And when we go on trips and bring people on trips, is to give them that experience when we go to this destination travel. We've got a great partner in Destination Hotels.
We do.
And Starwood Marriott that are partnering with us and having us bring groups. And excited about that. And where's it? Lake Tahoe is one of the places we're going.
Lake Tahoe. It's Squaw Creek. Yeah.
Squaw Creek.
Yeah, Destination Hotels.
And over in Maui, we're working on the Westin on Maui and the Sheraton on Maui.
Kanapali.
It's going to be exciting. We're going to take people down to
Kauai.
Peru. Oh, man.
Kauai.
Man. Come on.
St. Regis.
All these trips. We've got a trip coming up to Jacksonville, Florida.
Uh-huh.
Rock concert by night. Golf by day.
I didn't know you were a rocker.
I'm not. I'm just going to go play golf and, just listen to a little
hang out
music
with
at
the
night.
rockers.
It's going to be right on the beach down in Florida, right in Jacksonville in May. But it's going to be great. Lake
yeah, we got some great.
This is Randy and Jean. We had a great show. Fun time. Bye-bye.
All right. Be safe.
Got applause. That's awesome.
That's crazy.
It's applause. Well, right at the beginning of this last show, we did a little warm-up and decided that we're going to put it in as an outtake at the end of the show. So have fun. Here's Randy and Jean getting ready to do the show, but it's telling you at the end of the show. But this is at the beginning of the show. You figure it out.
I think for the
What?
first part of it.
Let me do a test. You know what, your headphones on. We're live. Warming up. Live Eco Style. Brazil. Come on, Jean. Get it going.
I can't look pretty all the time.
That's true. But that's not the way I see it. God. All right. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Yeah, you ready to do this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we going to do it topless?
We're going to wing it. Yeah.
I'm going to do it topless.
Awesome.
Can guys go topless on the beach?
Guys can. That's the whole big issue down in Rio de Janeiro right now. The women can't go topless and the men can.
I just don't see it that way.
Well, apparently
What good is that?
there's a lot of women that don't see it that way either.
I got a nice top, though. I think I'd stop the beach. They'd want autographs. They'd want an imprint. They'd come along with the painting. Here, put your boobies there.
You and Giselle?
Giselle, did you see her?
I did not. I did not see the opening, but I heard that she was fantastic.
To die for. I don't know how Tom Brady. 4-game suspension. If I was him, I wouldn't show up until the 5th game. Just want to make sure she's happy.
I don't think he did. I think he technically got the 4 games.
No, he got
a note to stay home for 4 games.
No, I think he said, "Could you make it 5? I got to."
I have a beautiful wife.
Yeah,
Stunning wife.
I'm going to roam around my 65-room mansion for a bit.
I seem to be wrapped up here.
Get it going, Jean. Come
I'm tied up. You're impinging on me here.
All right. Well, let's get ready to go. Enough of this.